Okay, so I'm sure that we are ready to start the session of the first chapter in this particular course, Vedic, that is Beginner's Guide to Vedic Astrology. It is like we have put about 90 slides with video presentation and everything. Now it's gone more than 100. Lot of doubt clearing sessions have been all that is recorded and kept in the course page. The course fees is just 2,990. The idea of putting this course is not for any high commercial reasons, because even though what I pay for this website and all that, it is a little bit I'm putting up from the thing, but that's okay for it. It's just that we wanted astrology to be promoted to the right people so that they understand and appreciate how the karma works and how to interpret karma, and that's the main reason behind it. Whether you become future astrologer or you don't become an astrologer, it doesn't matter, but learning this course will help you to a spiritual journey, at least to start off with your spiritual journey on showing how it works. Okay, so I will straight away get into the first chapter in that. Let me just put the screen sharing here. Share screen, share, yeah. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. I can see.
You can see it, right? Yeah, great. Okay, let me go. The first thing is we have given here is like it's like for this course, the first is we also look at Dakshina Murthy. This is the picture of Dakshina Murthy. See, Dakshina Murthy is supposed to be the guru of gurus. He is also the Pratyadi Devata of Brihaspati. Okay, so Dakshina Murthy, you know, worshipping Dakshina Murthy, this is taught by Agastya Maharshi. Worshipping Dakshina Murthy early morning before sunrise, in any form, whatever form you wish, sitting on a northeast direction in a kind of a kind of blanket or anything, not on the bare floor, and worshipping Dakshina Murthy will give you Jyotisha knowledge. Okay, this knowledge of Jyotisha comes to you if Dakshina Murthy blesses you. You get the Vakasiddhi and you get a lot of knowledge. This is the first secret of learning Jyotisha Shastra. So this is usually not taught in the beginning. This is usually taught in the last and end. Then they tell you what is the actual secret of getting your astrology. So for a change, let's make it as the secret in the beginning. Okay, this is taught by or conveyed by Agastya Maharshi himself. So worshipping Agastya in the mind and worshipping Dakshinamurti, facing northeast direction early in Brahma Muhurta, that is before sunrise, at least an hour or something like before sunrise, will give you a knowledge about Jyotisha Shastra. So you can make a note of it. Yes, I have Mala.edu is Maharshi Agastya Learning Academy. -edu is the educational thing. So that is the reason why we have. So we wish that the noble thoughts come to you from all sides. Okay, so it's pure knowledge, nothing else matters here. Okay, the orientation of the course is something like this. There are 11 modules and 90 lessons, 90 lessons. Okay, now it is more than 100 because a lot of doubt clearing session I have added as another thing. So many students who have asked doubt, I have recorded it and kept it in the, it was all through Zoom. So most of it was recorded and kept it. If you access the course, you'll get access to all that. Okay. So first is debrief about astrology, foundation of Vedic astrology, pillars of astrology, like all, you know, everything is like hand-holded and taught to you. It is expected that you know nothing about astrology. You know, that is what the intention of this course. You may be a rationalist. You may not believe in any kind of mystic sciences. It's fine, but just go through it. You'll get the idea of how things work differently in a different paradigm. Okay. A deep understanding of Navagrahas. You see planets as a, you know, there is something called energy and matter in science we would have learned. So we see through our eyes planets as a kind of matter. Okay, so like something like the solid matter in the space. Okay, but through astrology you'll come to know what is the energy behind which is, you know, connecting all this and how it is used in predicting somebody's karmas, that is future, or judging others from the time and date of birth and all those things. Okay, that is the interesting point. Fundamentals of predicting. So then you come from 6th module onwards, you know, you need to know about how to predict the horoscopes, you know, fundamentals of predicting. Then key formulas for horoscope analysis, then points to predict, timing an event, and then career and opportunity in astrology and all those things. And then you have some advices which I've given you, and then few acknowledgements from whom all I have learned this. You know, a lot of list of people whom I have learned it, so I would like to acknowledge them as well. So all these things are put in this particular orientation, in this particular course. Module 1, induction. Okay, debrief about astrology. Okay, the first thing is about briefing about astrology here. Before we go, you might be wondering what is in the background picture here. It is actually I have another website called astrosree.com. Right now, I'm not operating it because of too much of consulting, because I'm the only one person. It is not a kind of a marketplace where you have 100 astrologers and then ask them to predict. I individually predict. I take a lot of time for predicting. So I'm not able to handle, because many people have been, subscribing or, logging into it. So I have right now put it on hold. I'm only operating through WhatsApp number 79043877768 for time being, which I'm using it for that. Now, why do astrology exist? Okay. I mean, why does astrology exist at all? I mean, you can live a normal life. You can lead like any other life. Why do you need any kind of astrology or anything in it? Okay. So it is your choice. It is basically a choice. Whether you live a normal life without going through astrology or spirituality or yoga or anything, still you live and you die. This is the life's formula. But then what is the advantage of knowing it? Why should the astrology exist? Astrology exists because, one, is just not to talk about fortune telling, but rather to give you a proper guidance and to, enlighten you that most of your life is based on karma of your previous lifetime and this lifetime. Any event, good or bad happening, is based on the formula of karma. Okay, it is not accidental. There is nothing called luck or bad luck. Everything is based on, give and take. Something like what you do, you get that particular thing back. It is based on that subject. So this is the first step, actually, if you ask me, towards eye-opener, towards a kind of knowledge towards why are you born, what is life, how does life function, why is that guy doing well, why I am not doing well, what is going to happen to me in future, what has happened to me in the past, why is I am going through trouble, is there anything to come out of it? All these things are learned from, basically from the astrology subject. Okay, you can explore it through spirituality also, but the answers you get there will take a longer time, and everything will be again based on the same karma theory. Now, everybody knows karma theory. It is all based on karma. Let's take an example. But do you know how does it work? Do you know that you kill a mosquito and the kind of pain it goes through because you kill that mosquito, you'll also have to go through that same pain. So the technical part of how karma works is known from an astrology perspective. The technical part, like step by step, how it all karma works, how does God see it, or how does the energy sees it? Okay, we are talking here God as something kind of an high intelligence, omnipotent, omnipresent being, which is there within us, which is there everywhere, existing everywhere. Okay, so that is what we see that. Okay, so we are into that kind of subject here. Okay, next is, let us look at this. Astrology exists as a Jyotisha. You know what is Jyoti is all about? Jyoti is something called light. Okay, Isha is known as the, they call it as actually it is a kind of God, Lord. They term that like Isan, Isa. Okay, so the light which you see, as I told you, the light, Jyotisha is nothing but the light about your own life, about your own karma. Okay, so here we see three things here. One is your physical body, which is very separate. Your mind, which is operated from the brain, is a separate being. And your Atma or soul or being, whatever you call it. Okay, in different philosophy, it is called by different names. These three are separate stuffs. That's why when you die, the physical body is burnt, or whatever you do with that. Then your mind and the soul exists. So the removing that mind part from the world is what this karmas and all that people do. Death karma, rituals and all that is people done with that. Okay, so the Atma is something which takes birth again and again to experience different karma. One is because it has to experience karma. The other one is basically desire to come back again, try your luck again. That's how the whole thing works. So when it comes again to try something, considering that, okay, this lifetime I'll become great, I'll do that. Then again, the past karma is also added to that, comes in. It is like a cycle. You cannot escape from it unless you realize that you're not the body, you're not the mind, you are the Atma itself. You're the God, you're the being, you're the part of God itself. Then it's called Mukti or Moksha, or, a kind of coming out of, what is it? Coming out of all the shells of desire, shells of karma. That is where the Mukti state. And if you achieve that state of Mukti, which is only mostly possible when you're born in this earth, it is not possible after you go. So that is why the human birth is very important. That was Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara says human birth is very important. Vajagovintam clearly states that. Advaita philosophy clearly states that. Don't miss this human birth. Okay, enjoy the life, but then remember that there is something which is there. Okay, there is a knife above our head that is called death, and we need to be prepared to ensure that the karma and everything is well balanced in it. So Jyotisha gives a guiding light towards how to plan your life, how to see certain good times, how to see certain avoid bad times. And there's nothing called good and bad time. It is depending on a reason why you need it. For example, people don't choose Tuesday for auspicious things. Have you noticed it? But if you're going for a battle, you're going for a criminal case, you're going for a war, then you need to choose Tuesday. Something like that. So there is no kind of good and bad. It is you cannot judge anything here. Everything is based on, particularly on a area, what you want to do and choosing the time according to that. So karma theory is nothing judging here, good and bad. You do this, you will get that back. It's simple like that. Okay. So it is like to come out of. So this gives you the technical step by step to come out of the issue of rebirth. Jyotisha acts as a guiding light to it. This Jyotisha Shastra, who is remembered as, it is not written by humans. Let's accept the fact. Even tomorrow, anybody can write a book and claim that he's researched and all. But the basic Jyotisha, today what we use is Parashara, Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Parashara Maharshi, who is the grandson of Vasishta Rishi. Vasishta Rishi, you remember, he was one of the gurus of Lord Rama in, in those yugas, Treta Yuga and all that. Okay, his grandson is Parashara Maharshi. And Parashara Maharshi is supposed to be known as the father of the astrology, what we use Jyotisha Shastra here. His disciple is Jaimini Maharshi. He's written about Jaimini Sutras and things like that. So apparently all the rishis and all of them have what they are looking into it, and what the rishis are looking into it are all very, very crucial things in astrology, knowing astrology, learning astrology. And this subject is usually kept it in a kind of very secret. It is usually the people who wants to misuse it are not prospering in the areas of astrology, if you have noticed it, because these are all still guided. These are all logged subjects by the rishis. They open it when you worship them. That knowledge comes to you. It has some connections like that. Next is science and religion. Why does astrology exist? Science and religion. Okay. See, science tells everything with a cause and effect. Religion talks about something, whether there is a cause and effect or something, it is just like an opium of the masses. That's what he says. Karl Marx says that religion is the opium of masses, something like that. People just go blindly after religion. Okay. When it comes to science, they ask, well, is it scientific and all those things. So what is the building bridge between the science? Science talks about planets, physical. Okay, religion talks about just beliefs. So to connect how these things actually operate, how did the solar system exist? How did the universe exist? And how does these energies play a role? Are all connected with astrology. If you learn astrology in depth, you'll come to know these connections here. Okay, so those are it is a balance between science and religion. There is a lot of scientific things in astrology because you're talking about planets here, solar system here, distances here, vibrations here, okay, are all connected with the science part of it. Okay, like distance between sun and earth, then distance between Venus and sun, are all when it comes to very close to sun. A lot of things are there which is highly scientific if you go through that. Religion is something like, they talk about many things, but there is no backing up of it. It is a belief system. So, but here astrology has got a connection. It connects between science and religion. Now, another important thing, look at this map. Can you see this map? What is this? Any guesses what kind of map is this? Can you take us on this? This map is actually a Google map. Okay. Yeah, it's very simple. Don't get complicated. It is not anything philosophical. It is simple Google map on a very traffic day. So here what happens is, let's say you wanted to reach some destination. What do? You drive you on a Google map and see that. And it tells you you'll reach in 32 minutes or 42 minutes or something like that. And then it's the same thing. And then you take diversion if some road is completely jam blocked or something like that. So similarly, you can use astrology in the same way. Okay, astrology can also be used in the same way. And by making sure that, you reach your destination without any kind of traffic jams, which is obstacles or blocks in it, you're able to reach. So using astrology, you will be able to avoid certain kind of blocks that is likely to happen. Okay. Now, what kind of blocks? Small blocks. But can you change your birth and death? You cannot change it using astrology. But within your life, can you change it? Can you alter certain things? Yes, you can. Those are the things which is possible with astrology. Okay. So astrology helps you like a simple Google map. Decisions. Any decisions you make, you can choose the right time, you can choose the right beginning, and then take decisions on your future in it. Suppose you wanted to change your job, say 6 months, you are going to face a difficult dasha or a antardasha or a bad period. You can decide, should I choose to change or should I stick on to the current job? If you are comfortable, then we advise them, do some remedies and don't change at that point of time. So you can take those decisions in it. Okay, like that, whether to marry this person or not. Look at the chart, you can find out the characteristics of a person, whether this person matches with you. Like this, you can come back with a report saying that whether you can go ahead in life or not. Okay, the best part is for taking any decision, if an astrologer asks 1,000 rupees, then they bargain with the astrologer. But if somebody else asks 10,000 rupees for the same a consultant asks from a, something like a business school or something, then they are ready to pay anything in it. That's the only difference what we have from the astrology fraternity here. And people think that astrology is something free, it has to be done. The problem here is to learn astrology, you would have spent lakhs of rupees for many years spent on it. But unfortunately for consulting, when they charge, they bargain in it. They don't understand how the kind of value for all those things. They don't understand that astrologer also has got a horoscope. He also has certain challenges. He also has health problems. They have children, they have marriage. It is a normal life. They don't have any governmental preference. Like if you're an astrologer, you're given a first class ticket on a aircraft or something like that. So it's the same thing there. So just to give you a thought on it. Now, can you look at this? It is about the, it is a story of, you see that? Can you see the screen? You can see somebody there, how the karma works. This is one of the stories in Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana talks about a story about somebody called Jade Bharata. Jade Bharata. Jade means hair. Some kind of somebody has got Jada hair. Jade Bharata. Jade Bharata is the person who's carrying one of that, like a guy without, the white dhoti he's wearing. He's carrying the king on that. Here, Jade Bharata, in this lifetime, he was carrying this particular king. Okay. And looking at the king, look at the king, he's quite angry with the way he carries. He's like, trying to put it down and things like that. He's trying to jump. You know why he's trying to jump? To avoid stamping any kind of creatures on the road. Okay, now coming back, let's go back to the flashback. 3 lifetimes back of Jade Bharata. He was a great king called Bharata, the great king. I think the country Bharata is also named after him. He was a great king. and he ruled this country in a beautiful way. And I think he comes from one of these lineages of some great Mahabharata times and all that. So this Bharata actually, this Bharata was a great king, and he lived, and he said one day decided, he learned about Advaita philosophy, God and all those things. So he decided, okay, after this, I'm going to live this particular, kingdom to my heirs, and then I will be going to the forest and meditate. So he decided one day, threw off everything, got into the forest, built a small hut there and started living. And then while he was living in that small hut, he was, he forgot almost from where he came from, and he was progressing, japa, meditation, all that he was progressing. One fine day, he saw a small, he saw a deer being attacked by a tiger near the stream where he was staying. And then at that point of time, that deer gave a birth actually to a small deer, and then the tiger took the big deer and went, and so he wanted to save that small deer from that. So he picked up the small deer, put it in his small place where he's living, like an ashram kind of place. So he grew with that particular deer. It grew, many years passed, and his old age came. He was about to die, and then he was worried about the deer. Well, who's going to take care of the small deer? See, I've taken this up to so much, and what is going to happen to the future and everything in that. Then immediately, apparently what happened to us, like when he was about to die, he was getting worried about the deer. And when he died, he was reborn in the next life as a deer. There is something called what you think during your death, your possibilities of getting born on that, because that will be your last karmic impression which you have in your mind and your soul. Okay, so that carries to the next birth. So probably based on that theory, he was born as a deer, and that deer was not mixing with other deers because it is already spiritually evolved, so it wanted to have its own space, and so it was not very mixing with people, other deers and things like that. So it lived that particular deer's lifetime, and then it finished off. After the deer's lifetime, the next life was taken birth as Jade Bharata. Jade Bharata was born in a family which used to be priest, on a caste name which I usually don't use, a Brahmin family. Okay, you can call it as a Brahmin family in that. Generally, I prefer not to use any caste name, but then, okay, it was prescribed by the priest family or Brahmin's family. So I'll call it as a Brahmin family as prescribed. So he was born in that particular very pious, auspicious family. And in this particular family, what happened? This Bharata was actually acting very, very weird. He was not mixing with his family members. He was one of the fourth or fifth son of that head of the family. And then his father, the father of him, was very worried about this guy. And then they wanted to get him married. Probably if he gets married, he will change over a new leaf and all that. Then while they were trying to get married, he was trying to avoid it. And one day he ran off from the house. When he ran off, then this king was coming in between. And so one of the, the people who were carrying the king was not feeling well. So they said, this guy looks very healthy. Ask him to carry one of that particular thing. This guy looks, so he started carrying. When he was started carrying this palanquin of the king, he started jumping from one thing to other, to avoid any stamping of these creatures. Because he has been a spiritually evolved. He knows the karma, how it affects. So he doesn't want to experiment with this karma. So he was trying to jump. The king got wild, and then he started, he got down, and then he started asking, what the hell you're doing and all that. You will be punished for this. Then he said, whether you will punish my body or my soul. Then the, the kind of dialogue between the king and this Jade Bharata starts. So I just wanted to mention this here to show how the karma works. Okay, so that is what the whole story of Jade Bharata. Probably you can explore this story in Bhagavatam and various other places. So that's about the first chapter. So I will stop sharing the screen. So I hope you'll have some idea about the first chapter. So in case you have any doubt considering the first chapter, you're most welcome to ask me now about the course or chapter or anything related to astrology, whatever I know. I hope I can share for the next few minutes.
Yes, sir. Actually, people come and consult an astrologer for their future.
I can't hear well. I'm sorry, I can't hear you well.
Now is it fine? Now is it fine?
Slightly better.
Like people come and consult an astrologer for their future predictions, right, sir. So when they just get to know like if some obstacle is there, if the astrologer is giving some remedies to perform, when they perform those remedies, the karma change.
Good question. Your question is that people come and ask, meet an astrologer, and future, if it is not good, astrologer prescribes remedies. And does these remedies work, or will it alter the future? That's what your question is. Okay.
Yeah.
We have just 10 minutes remaining before the session goes out, because it's a free session with Zoom. And to answer your question, there are 3 types of karma you will learn in this course. That is prarabdha karma, which cannot be altered. That is your birth, death, and some few incidents also. That will be written in your chart. It is also taught you how to read prarabdha karma from the chart. Second is sanchita karma, agami karma. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you understand these karmas, what I have told you about? I'm not able to hear, I think.
No, sir. It is confusing a bit.
Okay. Prarabdha karma. Okay, I will not get into the technical names. Okay, there are 3 types of karma. One is not at all alterable, birth, death, and all that. Second one is slightly alterable. That is what we give remedies to. That you need to identify what is alterable and try to do that. Okay. Third one is what you accumulate currently in this birth. Okay, there are these types. They call prarabdha or agami, sanchita karma, and all those things. Okay, that's all explained well in this course, so you'll go through it. Let me tell you, certain remedies you need to analyze it very carefully, and those remedies needs to be done there. Okay. Now, for example, you're doing a kind of Ayush Homa as a remedy prescribed. Ayush Homa is not to make you, not to give you a kind of life where you don't die. You will certainly die. Anybody will die in this earth. But here the Ayush Homa increases the longevity. Whether it increases in this birth or next birth, it is added into your account. And if it is a small karma that is blocking, health-wise also it improves a lot. So there are certain remedies prescribed based on that. Okay. Certain people, certain kind of karmas are unalterable, that you need to identify analyzing the horoscope and tell the person openly, nothing will change after this time. You can do meditation, you can do certain something which is like, I've seen some horoscope. I'll tell you a case study where the person lost a job, and I knew that up to this time he will not get a job. So there's no point in prescribing remedies to him. So we tell him, you visit so many temples and things like that if you wish so, or do something which is small where you get an income in that, because until this time you're going to face this challenge. You cannot alter it because that is very clearly shown in the chart. Okay, so prescribing remedies is very, very crucial, because the astrologer has to have the knowledge to prescribe remedies, and that needs to be done in a very professional way, not to make money out of, giving remedies and then telling him that, perform remedies and then something, making an income out of it. Never do that, because that will add a very severe karma, and the Vakasiddhi, the kind of prediction levels, yours will come down. I've seen many people losing their prediction levels because of certain motives and remedies, what they tried out. Remedies are good. It has to be done properly, no doubt in it. But the prescription of remedies also to be done in the right, proper way. There are certain remedies. Some people do remedies, but still things won't change. Whether it changes or not, the remedies has to be done on a continuous basis, like pujas, remedies, and all those things. And apparently it will change. Even if it does not change, and if you think it's taking longer time, it will still accumulate as a punya, as a merit in your, in your kind of atma, that in your account. Let's say bank account, it adds to it.
Okay, so by seeing the horoscope itself, we can come to a picture like whether you do this remedies or not.
Yes, very much you will come to know. Don't think that everything can be done, cured by remedies. Agastya Maharshi says, just because there is a, medicine to come out of poison, will you go drink poison? It's like this. You need to understand karma first, how the karma works. Then you need to know how that is affecting your horoscope and how long period. And based on that, okay, this remedy may work out for this person. That way it has to be prescribed in it. Certain remedies will give them relief. All remedies will give them relief. That is for sure if it is done properly. Okay, that's how it works. Remedy has to be prescribed properly, not like, standard remedy. Nothing, it's just, it has to be done properly. And that will also be, that's a knowledge. See, if you read Brihat Parashara Horus Shastra, very clearly he says, Japa, chanting names. Then he says about Yagna, Homa. And third, he talks about charity, Dharma. These are the 3 types of remedies which he prescribes entirely in Brihat Parashara Horus Shastra. Parashara Rishis have written like that. You have to prescribe what Rishis have written. You cannot do your own, made up remedies and all those things. That and all won't work. What does Rishis have told? Just follow it blindly. Don't need to go and, to create your own remedies. That's what I suggest. What Rishis have told, blindly follow it, things will be done. That is how it works. Okay. So,
sir, one more thing, sir. I understand that
yes.
this is a recorded session and it's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But if there will be like a touch point like this in between the process where we can have live.
Usually what happens, I used to keep every Sunday, but then there is not much joinees now. All those people have joined and they have also finished the course and went, they have been there. So if it is not there, send an email to me. I will keep a joint session whenever it is possible. See, whenever it's mutually convenient, we keep it. Usually Sundays 11:30, we keep a session on that. Subject to if somebody has a doubt. If somebody does not have, so we won't open a Zoom link and keep it blank like that. If you have a doubt, you can send it and we will invite everybody and have a discussion on that particular part.
And is there any discussion, a topic on Prashna also in this?
No, Prashna we have not taught. This is only a beginner's guide to Vedic astrology. So Horary is not taught in this. Prashna is not taught in this.
Great. Yes.
So after completing this course, how can we get the advanced level of knowledge?
As of now, I have not started any advanced courses here. There is nothing called advanced. If you ask me, the basics. Be thorough with the basics, and then certain areas of life, some seminars will be conducted. You may join that. For example, marriage, which I was planning for a long time to take, how to do marriage matching. Probably we'll have some 3-hour seminar or 2-hour seminar, which will be a course by itself, will be conducted. And then you can access it through course later also. Something like live sessions will be conducted in that. Or how to predict a career, Raj Yogas, and then, losing jobs and all that. How to predict it exactly. So there will be a course on that. Then using nakshatra, there are 27 nakshatras, starting from Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, like that. 27 nakshatras there till Revati. Now, using nakshatras, you can predict a lot of things. Don't go into horoscope at all. Just that person's nakshatra, you can predict many things. 80% prediction can be completed. That's what I was taught. So maybe a small course on nakshatras will be there. Just to use nakshatras. How to find a nakshatra? Nakshatra, you can predict somebody when it is going to happen. Like that, you can calculate your day. This day is going to be extremely good. This day is going to be a little bit bad. Be careful. That is using nakshatra. Some schemes are there, and probably a course may be on that. A small 3 hours course will be on that. Simple topics. That's what I'm looking forward to do. If God willing, that will also be starting soon. I'm started preparing few of it. Okay. So with this, I think we end the session. Thank you so much for joining in this Diwali day. And we wish you and all the others who are viewing this a very happy Diwali and, prosperous Diwali. Every day is important, every day is thing. And the day is different if you do something good for others. So keep up that, and then let God bless you. Let Agastya bless you also.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will be joining tomorrow morning, the course.
All the best for the course. Thank you.